Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to Centurions Review, the punk rock band of wargame review institutions. This is the Battle for Ramadi, the final assault on the city, 22nd through 28th December 2015. It's a solitaire game from Tiny Battle Publishing. This is just a first look video. It's not a playthrough. It's not a review, it's basically an unboxing. But here's the problem. When I got this game, I was so excited to play it. Normally when I get a new game, I do an unboxing, or I call them first look videos, before I play it, but I forgot to do that, so this is kind of a first look after the fact. I haven't played it yet. I'm just setting it up to try and teach myself the game, but we'll go over the components. Anyhow, it includes these really big counters that I like. They got good artwork on them. And here's the map. These are your objectives here. There's 6 of them. And there's a south zone, a west zone, and a north zone. And these little red hexes are where you deploy from, if I'm reading the rules correct. Like I said, I haven't played it yet. I just read the rules, so I'm still learning. And you have another player sheet here. This one has the sectors, the north, west, and south. And you assign ground assets to them, like here's a breacher, special forces, bridge, more special forces, tanks, and artillery. And you put your air assets here, which consist of drones. That's an optional rule, but I'm going to try it with the optional rule allowing drones and bombers. And down here you keep track of the Iraqi casualties and the Iraqi victory points, the ISIS victory points, and the game turn. And you see these 3 little cups here. This one contains the ISIS assets. This one contains IEDs, and this one contains ISIS military forces. Essentially, if I'm reading the rules correctly, when you enter an empty urban space, you grab one of each of these there, and those are the opposing forces you have to defeat in your operation. And here's the operation counters. You put them on whichever place you're trying to conduct the operation. And the back is if you cleared it, you put that there. And if I'm reading the rules correctly, there's a phase where ISIS can attack. So if you have like a cleared section here, ISIS may attack there, and which would remove your clear section and cut off your line of supply to your troops. If they're out of supply, then they can't get, like say something in the north here is out of supply, then they're not able to get their ground assets if they need them. So maintaining a line of supply is good. Actually, in this game, they don't call it a line of supply, they call it a line of communication. Let's take a look at the rule book. Alright, so let's take a look through here. Starts with an introduction, goes over the game components, the forces, including the Iraqi and the ISIS forces. And then it goes over setting up the game and terrain issues, and then goes over playing the game. Determining victory. You get victory points for having a clear line of communication to objectives. And you also get victory points for cleared spaces. And you have to occupy the government complex to win the game. If you don't occupy it, you automatically lose the game. One other thing, you have to have more victory points than ISIS, which is obvious too. So I hope I explained that correctly. Like I said, I'm still learning. And now it's going over the definitions like deployment zones and so forth. And ISF victory points, you get them from operations too. 1 for each Emir you kill, and 1 for each ISIS attack you successfully repel. And the ISIS gets victory points for each Iraqi operation defeated, and for each civilian casualty caused by Iraqi operations, and for each Iraqi air attack aborted, and for each Iraqi casualty. They call them ISF, but for simplicity I'm just calling them Iraqis. And then it goes over the turn execution, which starts with deploying Iraqi assets, deploying ISIS defenders, that's when you do it in operation, execute your operation, and apply the results. And it's going over in more detail the ISIS attack phase. And there's like a priority in what they'll attack. Resolving attacks I believe it starts, priority goes to cleared hexes and then units, no, cleared hexes and then occupied hexes, my mistake. And there's an operation interface. And optional rules are about drones and on-call close air support. And here it's just giving you more information about the units and counters. And then some designer notes. And the back is where all the charts are. It's got all the charts as far as I can tell, except for the terrain effects chart. But that's pretty good, and it's got the sequence of play on there too. Alright, so I'm going to try this out, and I don't know when, but when I get time, I'll review it. Hopefully, it'll be a fun game, and I'll have a lot of fun play testing it and so forth. Thanks for watching, and if you liked the video, please click like on it. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this channel. And as always, have a good evening.